Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Right, so today I put a build together in the last few days, and it's a rifle build. I see all the other YouTubers are making rifle builds and they're all stacked into damage and stuff. I thought I'd just put this build together for you. It's actually different to theirs, without modifiers as well, so you can put the modifiers on if you want, so you do more damage and stuff for range and that. But if you like my content guys, like and subscribe. Let's get straight into the video. Right, so the first piece we're using is the gear set ACES of 8s. This is like one of the oldest gear sets in the whole game, and it was a bit rubbish. Like a few years, they've kind of changed it, so rifles work with it now. It was always just marksman rifles, so 15% you get, so 15% rifle damage, 30% headshot damage. That's always good. And then we have Dead Man's Hand if you use 4 pieces, which we are. Flip a card when landing shots with a rifle or a marksman rifle. After 5 cards are flipped, the damage of your next shot is amplified by 30%. More shots are enhanced the better the hand revealed. 4 of a kind, 4 shots. Full house, 3 shots. Aces of 8s, 2 shots. Flip an additional card on headshots, so that's pretty good. You get headshot damage here. You've got it on your weapon as well. That depends on what attachments you put on, but this build is based on crit damage because default on rifles there's crit damage and you can't change that, so I just thought I'd stack into crit damage and crit chance. So it all depends on your crits. So the core attribute is red, attribute is crit damage 11%, and the mod is 6% crit chance. Make sure you have crit chance for all your mods because you don't get crit chance on your rifle because you have to put crit chance mods on your rifle. So our second piece of Aces of 8s is the holster. We have a core attribute is 15% weapon damage. I've put chance on here because I don't have enough. I only have 49%, 50% on my rifle, but I only have 50% for a reason, and I'll tell you in a minute about that. So we have 6% crit chance. So our third piece, which is our final piece, because we're using the Ninja backpack, which is exotic. I'll show you that in a second. So our final piece of Aces is the knee pads. Core attribute is red, 15% weapon damage. Attribute is 13.3% crit damage. So I'll show you the backpack before you get confused or something, because I've only shown 3 pieces of Aces of 8. So it's the NinjaBike messenger backpack, the exotic. So we have all 3 cores just like the memento. So we have a red, a blue and a skill tier. Mod is crit chance, like I said before. Make sure all your mods are crit chance. And the talent is resourceful, slots in with any equipped gear set and or brand set item to fulfill a requirement toward unlocking gear set bonus. Can unlock bonuses for multiple sets simultaneously. So I'll just describe this really quick. So like I just showed you, I've only got 3 pieces of Aces of 8s, but because of the NinjaBike backpack it counts that I have the 4th piece equipped, which is Dead Man Hand, which gives you all those damage bonuses when you hit. Okay, so that's how it works. Same with brand sets, etc. So the gloves I'm using are the new, I can't pronounce that, so I'm just calling them Zoo. We have 3 pieces equipped, which the first one is 15% magazine size, that's decent. 20% rifle damage, that's what we're going for. And because of Ninja, we get the 30% weapon handling. These are the named gloves, the Eagle's Grasp. These are easy to get. Just go and count down, you'll get them in 1 game easily. Core attribute is a blue. The special attribute you get with these gloves are 15% weapon handling, so altogether that's just 45 straight away. And then we have 12% crit damage. So the second piece of Zoo that we have equipped is the chest piece. We have a red, 15% weapon damage. Attribute is 12% crit damage, 5.8% crit chance, you can get that to 6, and the mod is 6%, like I said. And the talent I'm using is braced, while in cover weapon handling is increased by 45%, so altogether you've got like 90% weapon handling, which is just absurd. You reload your guns really quick, you're accurate, but you can change this to a weapon talent if you want, but I've seen that everyone else uses a weapon talent, like a damage talent, but you really don't need it because of the bonus damage you get from Aces of 8s and stuff, and the crit damage that you have. You don't really need it. You'll see the gameplay on the screen, and that's heroic, the gameplay as well. So the rifle that I went with is it's pretty different to everyone else. They were using the lightweight M4, stuff like that, LVOA. I'm using the US C45 ACP. It's not the hardest hitting, but it's actually pretty stable, and look at the RPM, 420, which is insane. They made rifles automatic now. That's why they were irrelevant really in the past, because you have to spam the trigger and it basically just annoyed everybody. So the mag is 46, total damage is 245k. So we have headshot damage, and we have 30% from the gear set as well. So decent headshot damage. Rifle damage, we have crit damage, which is 16%. Damage talks out of cover. And the talent that I'm using, what I've not seen anyone using with this, because it's based on crit, is Killer. Killing an enemy with a crit hit grants 70% crit hit damage for 10 seconds, which is a lot of damage, 70%. And the mods that I'm using on the gun are crit chance based. You only do get 3 mod slots with this rifle, so if you don't want to use this, I'd recommend using like a lightweight M4. I have one here that you see. All crit chance, 3 crit chances. But I'm using this rifle because it's actually pretty good. But that's this rifle, and I'll show you the next one now. So the second weapon I'm using is the Artist tool. Actually, because it hits really, really hard. I've always used this rifle because I think it's good. The talent is really good. You get a lot of damage. So it's the same stats: rifle damage, crit damage, damage talks out of cover. And we have the talent Perfect Rifleman. Landing headshots adds a stack of bonus 11% weapon damage for 5 seconds. Max stack is 6, so 66% weapon damage, which is pretty good. Additional headshots refresh the duration. That's good because if you remember Aces of 8s, if you get a headshot, it gives you more damage basically. Like I read it a minute ago. And you have headshot damage from the gear set and the rifle. So these are the mods here. The only problem with what I'm doing is I'm using the scope for the rifle, which I miss. Crit chance, you can change that if you want to. A lot of people don't like using the scopes in the game. They prefer to use just their shoulder view. I prefer aiming down the scope because it's easier for aim. So I'll just show you the stats now. So with the USC rifle, I'm at 49.8% crit chance. Like I said, you can change the rifle to like a lightweight M4, and you can have an extra 5% with an extra mod. So you'll be at 55. And 107% crit damage. And because you have Killer, and most of the time, 90% of the time, it will just proc anyway. So you'll be at like 177% crit damage, which is quite a lot for a rifle. We have headshot damage, 110%. So the Artist tool, I'm at 44% crit chance and 107% critical hit damage. But the main thing we're trying to do is get headshots with this rifle, because you get that 66% weapon damage, which is kind of insane, that amount of weapon damage. 145% headshot damage as well. So it's completely up to what weapons you use. The pistol, 44%, 91% crit damage, but we're just using that for, because like there's no other better pistol to use really, the Orbit. Like I'll show you now in game. It shoots like stupidly quick. Alright, I'll just get 5 meters now. It hits hard. You can use different rifles with slower RPM, which will be more base damage, but that's what I use, and I'll show you the other rifle now. And look, you're doing over 1 million easily. And that is without me in cover, without braced. So if I get in cover, I've got braced. And look, it doesn't move at all, you can. It's just like a laser, look, 2 million grits. So I would recommend the Artist tool because it does hit hard. You can change it to different ones, like I actually farmed for all these rifles before the update came out. Like you've got the MDR, that's decent, 380 RPM. The UIC, I don't recommend that because it's pretty slow. You can use the SOCOM M1A. The Resolute, that's decent. But like I said, it's up to you. So the skills I'm using is just the ballistic shield, because you can actually go around with your shield with a rifle. It's not like a sniper, where if you're using a sniper you can't pull a shield out. But yeah, I'm using the Crusader shield. It's tier 3 because I've got 2 blues, and I've got a skill tier because of Ninja. So you're pretty tanky with it as well. But most of the time you'll be in cover because you've got Braced. The other skill I'm using is just a decoy. I use this on most of my builds. Because aggroes the enemies. That's it. Tier 1, which have ninja, so it's a bit better than tier 0. But they're the skills I'm using. And the specialization I'm using is gunner. The reason I'm using gunner is because you get 10% armor. I'll show you now what I've got. So I've got 2 rifles equipped. You can change the secondary to whatever you want, but I've got gunner because you get 10% armor on kill, which is always nice to have. We get ammo every 60 seconds. We get more weapon handling, so you've got like 100% weapon handling, which is good. You get more rate of fire after a kill, 5% rate of fire, 5 seconds. I've got the 15% rifle damage and the 15% pistol damage. But say you're using a shotgun as your secondary, you can just equip those kind of easily. But yeah, that's the build that I'm using, guys. So 3-piece ACES of 8s, Ninja, 2-piece Zoo, so you get like 90% weapon handling, and then when you're in cover with gunner, you get like 100% weapon handling. It's all based on crit. You can change the chest piece, that's up to you. Like to focus, for example, with a scope, or obliterate because you're aiming for crits. That's the build I'm using, and I just thought I'd show you guys, different to others. But let me know what you're using as a rifle build in the comments, and hope this helps. Thanks for watching, guys, and happy hunting.